After 7 years, Julian Assange is finally out of Ecuador's embassy in London, but not by choice. Assange faces being extradited to the United States for allegedly hacking a government computer. His isolation in the embassy seems to have taken its toll. British police were allowed to enter the building after Ecuador revoked Assange's asylum.
Que la conducta irrespetuosa y agresiva del señor Julian Assange, las declaraciones descorteses y amenazantes de su organización aliada en contra del Ecuador y sobre todo la transgresión de los convenios internacionales han llevado la situación a un punto en que el asilo del señor Assange es insostenible e inviable.
47-year-old Assange sought refuge in the embassy in 2012. That's when he skipped bail to avoid being sent to Sweden over rape allegations. Assange denied the accusations and claimed the charges of sexual assault were an excuse to have him extradited to the US. Those cases were dropped 2 years ago. Assange and his whistleblowing website Wikileaks have published classified documents exposing the misconduct of governments and individuals. It's most famous for exposing alleged US war crimes. In 2010, it released footage of a US military helicopter shooting dead 18 civilians in Iraq.
Come on, fire!
In July of that year, WikiLeaks published the Afghan war logs, which revealed how hundreds of civilians had been killed by the US military. Then in October, it released nearly 400,000 files on the war in Iraq. It was the biggest leak in US history, exposing the killings of 66,000 civilians. For many, these exposés have made Assange a hero.
The big injustice is the silencing of someone trying to shed a light on Western war crimes and trying to intimidate a real journalist into silence.
But for others, Assange is seen as a criminal for leaking sensitive material and undermining US security. Journalists and supporters of Assange are concerned about the impact his arrest could have on press freedom.
This sets a dangerous precedent for all media organisations and journalists in Europe and elsewhere around the world. This precedent means that any journalist can be extradited for prosecution in the United States for having published truthful information about the United States.
If Assange is sent to the US and convicted for hacking, he could be imprisoned for 5 years. But if he's guilty under the US Espionage Act, that sentence could be life behind bars. In 2016, WikiLeaks published hacked emails from the US Democratic Party. This damaged Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign, and some claim it helped Donald Trump get elected. US intelligence says Russia carried out the hack, and Assange has been accused of colluding with Moscow. Although the Australian national still has significant support, he's lost many friends in high places, especially in Ecuador. So is Assange's arrest an assault on press freedom? Or is the US justified in trying to lock up someone who helped to leak sensitive information? Hyder Abbasi, The Newsmakers.